Israel invaded southern Lebanon, imposing what it calls a buffer zone to push Hezbollah out of the border area. Decades earlier, the territory it occupied reached Beirut. The enemy then was the Palestine Liberation Organization, which was carrying out cross-border attacks. It was 1982 when Israel laid siege to the capital, aiming to install a friendly government. Under U.S. pressure, a peace treaty was signed in 1983, designed to end the state of war and establish bilateral relations. It was negotiated while Lebanon was occupied by both the Israeli and Syrian armies, in the middle of a civil war. The treaty only deepened divisions, with the opposition backed by Syria triggering what became known as the February 1984 uprising, which resulted in the collapse of the government's authority in Beirut. The agreement was cancelled. The balance of power shifted towards Syria, paving the way for increased Iranian influence. Decades later, the same men who led the uprising, Druze politician Walid Jumblatt and Speaker of Parliament Nabih Berri, now the most senior Shia Muslim state official, are against the government's decision to hold direct peace negotiations with Israel. They want a permanent end to hostilities and the international border restored. Once again, Lebanon is not speaking in a unified voice.
هذه المفاوضات ليست ضعفاً.
President Joseph Aoun says direct talks are the only way to end the conflict and reach a permanent agreement to preserve the unity of the land. The Lebanese and Israeli ambassadors met in Washington earlier this month, but formal negotiations are yet to begin. Hezbollah says it's a surrender and says Lebanon would have better leverage if it was part of the regional diplomacy involving Iran. The group and the U.S.-backed leadership that outlawed Hezbollah's military wing in March are on a collision course. But so far, the army chief has not implemented that order. During the 1984 uprising, the army collapsed as a national institution and fragmented along sectarian lines. It's a different era, but then, like now, peace with Israel lacks internal consensus and carries the risk of prolonged violence. Lebanon is again a battleground. Zeina, Khodr, Jazeera, Beirut.